Good morning to you. Here we are on April 22nd. Today we are going to be learning Chapter 9, Lesson 7, which is to divide decimals by whole numbers. If you don't already, open up your book to page 306. Be nice to visualize how we're going to do this here. Okay, so let's start off looking at number 1. Number 1 gives us, you know what, let's just skip those diagrams, okay? We're just gonna actually skip right, your workbook doesn't have any of those, and that's okay. So number 3 gives us 5 6/10. We have a long division box here, divided by 8. If you remember, what did we do when we multiplied with decimals? You did it normally, you ignored the decimal, and then you figured out where the decimal went later. Okay, here, when we divide a decimal by the whole number, so here's the decimal, here's the whole number, you pretend there is no decimal, which would make this 56. You divide it as though it's 56. You keep your place values very organized. All you gotta do with the decimal is bring it straight on up. So here's the decimal. You should put your decimal right on a blue line, keep it on that same blue line, bring it right up into your answer, and now ignore it. Pretend it's not there, use your place values, and divide. Okay, how do we do that? Well, 8 goes into 5 0 times. Okay, so 8 times 0 is 0. 8 goes into 56. How many times? Okay, 7 times. So put a 7 here. 8 times 7 is 56. And then 56 minus 56 is 0. So it's not 5.6 when you're working with it. It's 56 in your brain. There's no remainder. The answer is 7/10. Okay, to check, you would need to multiply. So that means you would just go right next door, and you would do 8 times 0.7. Okay, or we could do this, okay? 8 times 0.7. We would then multiply. 8 times 7 is 56. There is 1 digit to the right of the decimal, so there needs to be 1 digit to the right of the decimal. Put your decimal there. 5.6 was your dividend, so that means you're good. My sweet potato is done cooking. I need to get it out of the oven. All right, thank you for your patience. I'm sure you were all reflecting on that as we went. Okay. 5 is 96 hundredths divided by 6. Okay, first thing you do is bring that decimal right up the blue pipe. And then begin. 6 goes into 0, 0 times. 6 goes into 9, once. 6 times 1 is 6. 9 minus 6 is 3. Bring down the 6. 6 goes into 36, 6 times. 6 times 6 is 36. No remainder. Double check using multiplication. Put that on top because it's more digits. So multiply this by this. And begin. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 1 plus 3 is 9. And you have 2 digits to the right of the decimal in your factors. Put 2 digits to the right of the decimal in your product. You get 96 hundredths, which is your dividend, which means this is correct. 7 is 76 hundredths divided by 4. Begin bringing the decimal straight up. And 4 goes into 7 once. 4 times 1 is 4. Subtract. 7 minus 4 is 3. 3 goes, bring the 6 down. And 4 goes into 36 9 times. 4 times 9 is 36. Difference is 0. Double check. 19 hundredths times 4. So we have 4 times 9 is 36, carry the 3. 4 times 1 plus 3 is 7. 2 digits to the right of the decimal, 2 digits to the right of the decimal, put the decimal there. That is your dividend. So this is correct, 96/100ths. Okay, for number 9, I would like you to pause your video after we set it up together, solve it, and then replay it, see if you get it right, okay? So 9, just to set it up together, would be 2 and 214 thousandths, and that's divided by 9. Pause your video, and then I'm gonna go through it very quickly. Just check everything you did after you solve it. Pause it, solve it. Okay, so 9 went into 2 0 times. Decimal went straight up. 9 went into 22 twice. 9 times 2 is 18. 22 minus 18 was 4. 9 bring down the 1. 9 goes into 41 4 times. 9 times 4 was 36. Minus 41 minus 36 is 5. Bring down the 4. 9 goes into 54 6 times, and that is a perfect fit. So no remainder. That's a 0 underneath there. Okay, then double check your answer. So you should have had 246 times 9, and you multiply. 9 times 6 is 54, carry the 5. 9 times 4 is 36, plus the 5 is 41, carry the 4. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 4 is 22. We have 1, 2, 3 digits to the right of the decimal. 1, 2, 3, put a decimal right there. We have 2 and 214 thousandths, and that is your dividend, so that should have been your answer. Okay, you should have a pretty good idea how well you understand this after that. If not, you may want to rewatch the ones I've already done. Let's just do one more together, just for good measure. That was number 9. Let's do number 11. Okay, numero 11, we have $, ooh, and 84 cents. Divided by, so 84 cents divided by 3. That means you and your buddies, you all worked for Larry the chicken farmer for a day, and he paid all 3 of you 84 cents, and you have to divide that amongst yourselves. And then probably don't go back there because he's kind of cheap. He should be paying you more than that. Okay, just like you bring the decimal straight up, you also bring the $sign straight up. And then you can ignore it, but you need to have a $sign in your answer for it to be correct. And then you can begin. So 3 times 0 was 0, or 3 went into 0 0 times. 3 went into 8 twice. 3 times 2 is 6. And then 8 minus 6 is 2. You bring down the 4. And then 3 goes into 24 8 times. And that's a perfect fit. And then you go ahead and check your work. So go ahead and put 28 cents on top, multiplied by your divisor of 3. And you begin 3 times 8 is 24. Carry the 2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. That's all you got. Now place your decimal, 2 digits to the right, 2 digits to the right, and then just make sure you bring that $sign down. You got 84 cents, which was your dividend, so the answer is 28 cents you got paid that day. But you grew in character, and that is the real reward, right? Okay, I suppose we should also do 13 as well, because 13 is not set up the way you're used to seeing it. 13 is like this, 76 and 8/10 divided by 8. All right, so you got to just kind of remember, this is your dividend. That goes in the house. And then you're dividing it by 18. So it's 76 and 8/10 divided by 18. And then you begin. Bring that decimal straight up. Go ahead, 8 goes into 7 0 times. 8 goes into 76 how many times? 9 times, because 8 times 9 is 72. 76, 6 minus 2 is 4, 7 minus 7 is 0. Bring down the 8. Don't bring down the decimal because you're ignoring it. And 8 goes into 48 how many times? 6 times. 8 times 6 is 48. So 48 minus 48 is 0, and the answer is 9 and 6/10. Check your work. 9 and 6/10 times 8. 8 times 6 is still 48, and 8 times 9, you carry the 4, so 8 times 9 is 72, plus 4 is 76. 1 digit to the right, 1 digit to the right, put your decimal there. It checks out, it works, it's great, it's beautiful, we love it, we can't get enough of it. Skip to number 17, find the quotient. It says n divided by 5 when, n equals 2.5. So you're used to this by now. Just plug the n in. You take the 2.5, you put it there, and then you solve. So it's really this. get rid of n, turn it into that, and then set it up the way you're supposed to with the dividend in the box. And you begin, bring that decimal straight up. 5 fits into 2 0 times. 5 fits into 25 5 times. And 5 times 5 is 25. Perfect fit. Shebang.